I think you know, this weekend we can get the job done for sure.
Yeah, you spoke about that this weekend. We've obviously already shown the
falling short, but I feel like, you know, with the speed that we bring to the super speedways, it puts it more in your hand. It puts it more in your hand of being aggressive and putting yourself in the right spot. And, you know, I got the right helmet for the job this week.
Yeah, we love the helmet, love the play on that. Your teammates, they're in the same position you are. Does that help you or hurt you?
I think it's all of us are just hungry. We you know, as far as wanting to win, and I don't think there's anybody in this field that wants to win more than
else on Saturday night.
Thank you, Dave. So, Dave asked the question, how do the Roush Fenway Keselowski cars play it, since all three of them need a win to be able to go and advance into the postseason?
Well, I'll be honest. I think this is where a driver owner is very valuable, because I don't believe Brad would just allow this to be unspoken or unsaid all weekend and just see what happens. I think you get the group together and you let them know the only way you advance is through victory lane. The only way you can win is but I really think, Marty, there needs to be a line in the sand. And when you cross that line, you got to know the gloves come off.
Again, we're in a lightning hold here, trying to get qualifying done for the NASCAR Cup Series regular season finale here in Daytona. Back with more here on True TV.
Daytona, and we saw Gebhardt last year, and we knew the kind of program they could put forward. And for Valentino Catalano, it has been exactly what he needed in his career. The 19-year-old German has taken to prototype racing here, and this is going to be important. I can't see him not holding on to this championship. He needs to show up at the races and compete and gain points, but he's had such a strong season to this point in time. It's really going to be hard for anybody to catch him, and a lot of that has to do with the number of cars in the class right now. Expect to see growth in this class for sure. Look at this, cutting in and out gives you an idea of the speed differential down the front straightaway. But for this young man, being able to claim a championship early in his career, that will help him move forward. And again, it's one of the important points of this championship, a stepping stone in your career.
Yeah, especially if he has aspirations of racing stateside. I mean, he's won a title in LMP3 cars in Europe, did that last year, won the Prototype Cup Germany Championship with this Gebhardt Motorsports team. He's raced in the Asian Le Mans Series, he's raced in the European Le Mans Series. But if you could win a title in VP Racing Sports Car Challenge, now all of a sudden the IMSA paddock knows your name. They follow these races too, and this could help to vault him to the next step.
weekend, it's Darlington and Portland for the Xfinity Series Truck Series race, 12 p.m. from Darlington, and Portland for the Xfinity Series later that evening on CW. And of course, the kickoff of the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs next Sunday night on
my grandfather, Ty, Haley, and their
You know, it's one of the things you've discussed certainly at
It's his job on tomorrow night, on Saturday night. Jeff, when you look at Kyle Busch not being in, and also having Austin Hill in the race. So they kind of have two RCR cars that can help out Kyle Busch tomorrow night.
Yeah, they do, and I know that will be RCR's objective to get both in. In every way possible for a team to get as many cars in the playoffs as they can. So he is an RCR guy for sure. He'll do everything in his power to help.
A little bit of breaking news here from Daytona because of the lightning in the area. Cup Series qualifying has just been canceled for the day. We're going to be here for a little bit still on True TV though, so stick with us.
there, and it has put Clements well back off of the rear bumper of Porto, at least for now.
And that's the give and take of the traffic. Instead of creating an opportunity, it created the gap there, and Clements now has to dig deep to try and run the leader in the class, Kiko Porto, back down. And you know, one interesting dynamic here, we're well into this season. By this stage, you'd think these racers would know one another pretty well. They know the tendencies of the prototype drivers as they come through, but Christensen is brand new to the championship here this weekend, and that adds that little bit of uncertainty, doesn't it? Not knowing exactly what to expect from the new driver as they approach these kinds of traffic situations together for the first time.
And change roles, change seat for Christensen. He knows
Sure.
the car, he doesn't know the track, and he doesn't know anybody that he's passing out there. So it's one of those deals where if you're in a GT car, you don't know who this guy is that's coming through, and for the driver of that prototype, Christensen, he doesn't know the traffic that he's passing. So it's kind of a big unknown for everybody as Frank Depew with another problem. And you can see slick tires on grass don't work that well.
Yeah, even in the dry, certainly as you talked about, that's exacerbated if the grass is wet, but yeah, not a lot of grip to be found out there for Frank, who was running 7th in class at the time. And let's see if we can learn what happened. This is at the exit of the roller coaster section into Hog Pen.
Just gets up on the apex curve there in the final corner, and the car kind of sits down and compresses hard. As it rebounded, it looked like he lost the rear end a little bit and could never catch it. You can see the downhill slide like we were talking about. Then he tries to go back to the throttle and just doesn't have the car straight enough yet. Still a lot of lateral loads going on there. When he picks up the throttle, Ryan, I think that wheel spin, even with traction control, was just enough to loosen up those rear Michelins once again, and the car goes around.
What the team will be looking very closely at is how much grass ended up on the air intake on the grill front of that car. That's one of the risks when you go off track here at VIR. If you pick up too much of that, it can send the temperature skyrocketing, but actually looks like he probably got away with one there. That could have been a whole lot worse.
Absolutely, and we saw that earlier, and it depends. I think a lot of the time that Frank was off the racetrack was
very
backwards,
capable
right?
of
So
winning this race.
not that long a drive back to the track either, so good news for him as far as
And
that
now
goes. I was
we'll
talking
go
about
to
Kerrigan
the,
Smith and
very
his
back
entire
of the
crew here.
field.
They do such a beautiful
and
job
there's some
of
legit guys who can win this
landscaping
race
this
back here.
facility.
You
That
look at
means
Austin Hill
cutting
is
the
so
grass
good
on
in
a
the
regular
Xfinity
basis,
Series. Ryan
but
Preece,
cutting the grass
Noah
means clippings,
Gragson ran
because
fourth
I don't
at
know about you,
Talladega.
Ryan. I don't pick up mine in the yard when I mow either, so it's one of those things. You get off here, yeah, you may
Steve.
Yeah, actually, I think those